Welcome to MetroCast Channel 10. I'm Dr. Bob Schaller, hosting The Pulse. Thanks for joining us. I have another show of great interest called Expanding Your Horizons. I have two guests here from Pax River, NOC AD. I have Miss Brandy Simpson, who's an environmental scientist, and Miss Emily Stump, who's a physicist. And would like first to have them introduce themselves, tell us how they got here to Pax, and then how they got involved in this program. So Brandy, if you would begin.
Hi Bob, thanks for having me today. I really appreciate being here, and I'm very excited about this Expanding Your Horizons event. My name is Brandy Simpson, and I'm an environmental scientist at the Naval Air Warfare Center that's located on the Naval Air Station Patuxent River. We like to refer to it as the base, so I may do that or just call it Pax River in the future.
Okay.
As part of my job, I make sure that we're in compliance with regulations and rules that pertain to the environment for the research, development, test, and evaluation activities that we do on Pax River. And I also work green initiatives. That's fairly new for me. I'm very excited about it. And I am very fortunate to have the opportunity to go out and work with middle school children with some green initiatives. To date, over the last year, I have worked with one school in particular, Leonardtown Middle School, and I've been involved working with students on energy-related projects.
Okay. Now, what got you here? How did you get to Pax River?
I was married to a military guy, so
Okay.
I got here that way and
Okay.
then just fell in love with it. It really is a great place. So I've been here about 12 years now.
Okay, and I know, Brandy, we're colleagues with Leadership Southern Maryland. You've already graduated. I'm in this year's class,
Yes.
so we share that as well. Okay. Emily?
Well, I actually grew up in the area, so that's how I knew about Pax River initially.
Okay.
But I came to Pax River after I graduated from college in 2008. I graduated with a degree in math physics, and I started in the cost department. Was recruited in the traditional networking sense of the word. I passed my resume around, and eventually I got a call for an interview. I came in and got the job, but I didn't really want to do cost analysis for a living. I have more of a physics background, so I moved around a bit. I currently work in the electro-optical sensors division, which is a part of the avionics department. And avionics are all the electronics that help the planes fly safely and navigate effectively and detect the things that we want to detect.
Okay.
So that's what I do. Physics is a big part of that. I finished up the remainder of what would have been the bachelor's in physics post-baccalaureate at St. Mary's College, and now I'm doing a master's at Hopkins. So that's kind of how I got where I am, but I really enjoy it. I split my time between a laboratory where I'm helping develop some next generation sensors, and then I do some technical management for some science and technology development projects.
And we share something in common, the high school that we went to.
Yes, I went to Chopticon High School, which is one of the local public schools in this county.
So let's talk about expanding your horizons. I didn't really discuss that, but it's a program for middle school girls interested in going into STEM fields. And we have a Expanding Your Horizons Southern Maryland program initiative. And so let's talk about that, because that's really the feature of this program.
Sure. So Expanding Your Horizons it's actually a national program. It was established in the 70s. It's a very effective program that over time has been demonstrated to help students develop their interest in STEM careers and explore various STEM careers and get an idea of what they would like to study before they get into college. Mm-hmm. So the target audience is 6th to 8th grade. We don't just stick with public school. We'll take any students from private, homeschool, whatever background they're from, and the idea is to provide free or low-cost opportunities for them to explore careers in a lot of different STEM disciplines. So STEM stands for science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, and so we try to provide at least 2 workshops in each of those areas at every event that we hold. And this Expanding Your Horizons Southern Maryland group is a recently established group, basically composed of community partners. The base provides a lot of volunteers that are staffing the event itself. Our first event is going to be held on March 2nd, 2013. The first venue is actually the Southern Maryland Higher Education Center.
And what is this event, and what you've got a flyer there?
Yeah.
What is it that people can expect from that?
I'll let Brandy speak to that.
Okay, EYH is going to be such a fun event. We are going to have speakers, lunch, Wonder Women, and workshops. We're very excited about this. We know that students will be excited about this as well. As far as the speakers go, there are so many professional women out there that want to be a part of this. We are currently coordinating with them to see who is actually going to be in the lineup the day of, but stay tuned because we are going to have some great speakers that day. As far as the Wonder Women, this is fun. The students are going to love this. What student is not curious? They're all curious out there. And the way we have this set up is that we're going to have a group of professional women, and they'll be identified by, wearing some type of shirt or something, so students can easily recognize them and go up to them and ask them questions and try to figure out, hey, what's going on in their life and what's their career about. And somewhere later in the day, these so-called Wonder Woman will actually identify their real identity. So I think that'll be fun for the students.
Some intrigue about who associating the face with the name. Okay. Good.
Sure. Yeah, see if the students are on the right track or not. And another thing that we're going to do is workshops. Workshops are really the bread and the butter of this event.
Okay.
They're all STEM based, so you've got science, technology, engineering, and math.
Okay.
And what we've done is try to equalize the workshops along those categories. So we have picked 2 workshops from each of the disciplines out there.
All right.
So just to go over a couple of those with you,
Okay.
for the science workshops, we have dog days. It's an introduction to veterinary medicine, and I think that's really going to be a fun event.
And you have a couple local veterinarians that are going to participate in that. That's cool.
2 different veterinarians have signed up to participate, which is really wonderful.
Okay.
Right, and they will bring a couple of actual dogs with them, dogs that are good with students, so I think the students will really enjoy that. And then we also have the beauty of science, so the students are going to have the opportunity to make their own lip gloss. And that should be really good.
Cool.
As far as technology, we have a cryptology session that's called Shh, I've Got a Secret.
Okay.
And another one called Let's Use a Catapult. So we expect to see lots of balls launching in that workshop, and that should be a fun event as well. As far as engineering goes, we have the Civil Air Patrol. They've actually signed on, and they will have an aircraft that students can go check out, do some hands-on work to, ask questions. And I think that's going to be a big hit as well. And for our other engineering, we have Blast Off. What girl out there doesn't want to learn how to make a rocket?
Yeah.
Really fun stuff going on here. So as far as math is concerned, we have I Can't Find Anything to Wear. The truth about your wardrobe combination. So who has not looked in their, in their closet at some point and thought, gosh, I can't find anything to wear. But in reality, with all the different combinations of clothes that you have,
very possible.
A lot more to wear than you actually think. So then our last math event that we have, activity, is going to be called Help, I'm Sinking, Penny by Penny.
Which brings us to this setup here, this apparatus. So tell us what this is, because this is something you'll do at the workshop.
Yes, it is.
Well, one thing that we really try to emphasize in these workshops is that they be hands-on. These girls are in school all week long, and they're in a classroom and they're being lectured at. And not that that's not important; it absolutely is. But we don't want them to come to our event and go, "Oh, this is just like school." So the idea is this is a hands-on activity. So this Help I'm Sinking Penny by Penny activity is literally they are designing a boat, and so Brandy has designed
pretty simple design.
A boat out of tinfoil, aluminum foil actually, and this is just one version. You might like her design, you might not, and we're going to test it.
We're going to test it, at least with a few pennies out there. I will tell you, I've used this boat before, and I got 147 pennies to float in it before it sank. So we'll see how it goes. I don't have that many today, but we'll plop a few in here. We'll have the girls count them out one at a time.
Okay.
And see how they do. And they may have a special technique that they want to try out to see if they can make more pennies stay in the boat, try to distribute them, or if they think that the pennies should go in more to one side versus another side. The great thing about this activity, too, is that you don't have to spend a lot of time actually making the boat. So there will be opportunities for the students to kind of re-engineer. If they maybe they get 50 pennies the first time, but they re-engineer and then they get like 125 or 400, who knows.
And what's nice about that is that it really mimics the real engineering process. We as engineers, we have to redesign things all the time. And sometimes we have to unengineer something to figure out how it worked in the first place. So this is mimicking real life, and this is what it's all about.
So Well, this is a good hands-on activity. There'll be many of those. Again, it's March the 2nd. What day is that? Is this?
It's a Saturday.
Saturday, March the 2nd at the Southern Maryland Higher Ed Center.
Yes.
And it's an all-day event?
All-day event, essentially, nominally, 8 to 4. It'll
Okay.
probably be more like 9 to 3, but we haven't set the total agenda yet.
I guess the question that I and many would have is this is an outreach program for girls, for women, for females, in a STEM field which is, non-traditional, and you both being female scientists, how do you go about that? How do you help engage younger folks, younger females into this field?
It's a great question, Bob. It's actually really important to me. I've made it a priority in my career to do that. Having grown up here so close to the base, you would think that I would have had exposure to the base all along, but I really didn't.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I came back here, I tried to make that my own personal priority and get the base information into the classroom, so to speak.
And this is definitely a way.
This is one of the
at
things
that,
I do. I go into the classroom, I do demonstrations, I work with teachers to develop lesson plans. I work with the Education Outreach Office. We bring the
Okay.
kids into the lab where I work. We do tours. There's all kinds of stuff. The base has its own Education Outreach Office for STEM, so
Right.
it's really phenomenal.
Right.
And Brandy's
Brandy?
position is one of the newly created positions in support of that work also.
Yes, so I think, much like Emily, I didn't have the opportunity to really get hands-on in any STEM activities when I was younger. So
Right.
I think that's why I like it so much. I like hands-on activities. So for
Right.
me as an environmental scientist, it's important to give back. And I think as long as you're enthusiastic about something, that students will pick up on that and they say, hey, you have a really cool job. I'd like to do something similar to what you're doing. You seem pretty happy with what you're doing. So I think that's one way that I like to give back. But I guess in wrapping up, I just would like to let everybody know out there that if you are interested in this program, if you know a student who might be interested in this program, or if you are an educator and would like to pass this information along to the students, please send us an email at eyhsomd@gmail.com, and we'll reply to you very quickly and let you know any details that you may be asking for.
Yes.
Well, thank you very much. Again, I think it's important to hear and see firsthand the folks that are working at bridging the workforce needs, and specifically reaching out to females that are, again, non-traditionally in those fields. So thank you. Thank NAWC AD, Pax River, for allowing you the time and effort to do this. And
thank you for having us on your show and
Yeah.
publicizing it. We appreciate it.
And a good partnership through the EPA's, the Education Partnering Agreements with the local school systems, like you said, both public and private, as well as homeschool. So thanks again, Emily Stump.
Yes.
and Brandy Simpson. And I'm Dr.
Thanks.
Bob Schaller, and that's another show of The Pulse. Thanks for joining us.